Hi, folks. Today I have a cybersecurity author, a good friend of mine, who wrote a book about cybersecurity compliance. Stick around. I think you'll find this book very interesting. I'm Ed Amoroso from Tag Cyber, and I'm here with a friend of mine, Kimberly Simon, who is a author, right? A book on cybersecurity compliance. It's an excellent book. I'm going to ask her a little bit about the book and about who should read it. So stick around. I think this is something you'll want to hear. Kim, nice to see you. Welcome to our discussion.
Oh, it's always great to see you, Ed. Thank you for this.
It's great. You've got the book so nicely displayed there on the table. Thank you. It looks just absolutely wonderful. Tell just real quickly. Tell us what's the topic is cybersecurity compliance.
The topic is cybersecurity compliance. You can't escape it. So the book is called Case for Investing in Cybersecurity Compliance.
And that's something I think we'd all like to know something about. Now you work at Control Case. You know you're an expert at this. So, hey, what's your what is your day-to-day work? You work in this area. This is something that you are immersed in, day out. How did
Oh,
that inform the book?
and you know what? I think the book came from my conversations over the past 10 years. So I work for Control Case, and they're the leaders in cybersecurity audit and compliance automation, continuous compliance. And it's really those things that I'm hearing companies talk about a lot. Why should I do this? What is this cybersecurity compliance thing? How does it help my company? Why should I spend my budget on it? And it really was trying to answer those questions and educate on what cybersecurity compliance is, what it can do for you and your career, and what it can do for your company.
It's a deceptively complex topic, right? There's one would think that it's on the surface, it's answering questions to to a company that might want to know what you're doing, but there's a lot to it. There's a lot of background. What are some of the things you've seen maybe evolve or change in the last few years about compliance? I would imagine automation is one of them, but what are some themes that you guys see and that you may have included in the book?
Oh, everything is in the book. So, one of the things that's changed and what's covered right from the first chapter is the history of compliance. So, where this whole thing started, why compliance started in the first place, and who had to do it. Because when we look at when compliance started, not everybody had to do it. You typically had to be like a big company with millions of dollars, so your risk was considered to be more, or you had government contracts, so then you had to be compliant with some standards. But life has changed as you know it. Even the smaller companies are being asked to do it. The smaller companies are at risk. Ransomware is happening to everybody, regardless of how big or small your company is. So we talk about those changes and how applicable compliance is to everybody and not just the big companies. And then we get into ways that you can do it. Automation is certainly one of them. Making sure that it's continuous sounds kind of difficult, but making sure compliance is something that you're doing on a continuous day-to-day basis actually makes it easy. There really is efficiencies in repetition.
Well, I think the book is wonderful. And one thing I like the most is that it's very accessible. And furthermore, maybe you can tell me what you think. Compliance used to be just for big companies. Now I think it's for kind of everyone. Is that something that you emphasize in the chapters?
Oh, listen, you can't escape it. Even if it's not a conversation that you're having right now in your company, it's you can't escape it. Unfortunately, well, fortunately, compliance is one of the only ways that you can show the world, your board, your customers, that you have an active cybersecurity program that has been double checked by a third party. So you're basically bringing in a third party to look at your cybersecurity program and see how compliant it is to an industry standard or best practices for your business. So you can't escape it. If your clients are not already asking you for it and you're not already having these discussions, they're eventually going to come up. So you want to learn, what are the basics? What do I need to know? How can I do this in an easy way? How can I increase my return on investment once I've done it? And we cover a lot of that in the book.
That's good. Now, who do you see as the primary readers? Are these mostly practitioners? Would students also be interested? What's the target audience?
That's a great question, and I learned a lot just talking to you about the book when we published. So that's a great question. When I initially started writing the book, honestly, it had an MSP in mind, a managed service provider. They are, you know, helping companies get ready for cybersecurity audits. They're increasing their revenue through compliance, and they needed to learn from an audit company what an audit looks like, how to help people get compliant. So it really had an MSP in mind. But when, after I wrote it and we were reading it, we're like, this is a great introduction beyond just a business owner. It's a great introduction for people who want to learn about what cybersecurity compliance is. It's a great book for people who want to get into the industry because it gives you just that foundation that you need to understand what cybersecurity compliance is. So it's a great foundation for anyone that really wants to learn what compliance is, how it fits into a cybersecurity program, whether you are a business owner or you're thinking of changing your career and getting into cybersecurity compliance.
That's wonderful. Now, to get the book, I know there's a lot of people in Canada and the U.S. that have expressed a lot of interest. Where would you get this in Canada? Where would you get it in the U.S.?
Exciting times. In Canada, we are in Indigo stores and
Ooh,
Kohl's. So book signings are happening. Check the website. So would love to meet you. A lot of people are asking, how do I get into cybersecurity compliance? A lot of small business owners are like, guide me on what do I need to do? I need to get this thing started. I need to start having these conversations. So definitely attend a book signing if there's one near you in Canada, Indigo stores. For the US for now, we are on Amazon, working on Apple. I know we're planning to do a book tour at some point, so please follow me, Ed, and stay tuned on where that will be.
well, if you need a roadie for your book tour, let me know. I'll come carry the amps or something. So that's
Well,
great.
does it depend where I go? Do I have to be going somewhere cool?
Hey, congratulations on the book. I hope people watching will go out and grab a copy. I think it'll help quite a bit. Thanks for spending some time sharing today.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
That's great. For everyone else watching, we'll see you next time.